Greetings, 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 and welcome to my channel. You're with Tanisha Ali, author of Manifesting Your Masterpiece. Get your copy on Amazon. Do not forget to leave a review. We're here today to talk about 13 ways that you can begin to create a space for drawing in more feminine energy into your life in general, your life, but also specifically within your home. You can apply these same principles to your business. Now, I want you to remember that it does not matter whether you are a woman or a man. We're talking about bringing in the creative life force energy into your life that helps to keep you in the flow of life, that helps you to attract and manifest the kinds of experiences you want in your life. However, if you happen to be a divine feminine, meaning that your gender, in most cases, is primarily feminine, then this is particularly important to you. And one of the reasons why it's particularly important to you is because of the way we've been socialized in this society to move more away from our feminine energy unless it plays up to stereotypical gender roles, but also because of the way we have to function in society in order to meet the demands of modern day life, which requires that we really embrace and engage. It doesn't require. It has required, due to our lack of awareness and understanding about certain things, that we engage more of our divine masculine energy, or more of our masculine. Let me just say more of our masculine energy. And so society has required that of us, and that is what we have conformed to over the course of time. So it's important to remember that balance. And as a feminine, it is particularly important. As a man who's trying to utilize more of his whole self and use his feminine energy to complement his masculine energy so that he can accomplish more in life with less, these are going to be some principles that will be important. Now, I'm going to be talking about things that you can do in your immediate environment to help to raise the vibratory frequency of that environment and be in more of a feminine energy that helps you to move through life with a lot more ease. Keep in mind that the feminine energy is about ease of movement. It's about effortlessness. It's about being a receiver. It's about creation. The creative life force is the primary energy within the divine feminine, hence the womb space and so many other things. It's a place of germination. It is the dark place in which everything comes out. It is that place, or that void, that creates and brings forth life. And so it is important that you be mindful of the power of this particular energy source, because if you are, then you can leverage it, you can harness it in your life, and you'll find that life will be so much more magical for you. So let's just get into it right away. First and foremost, the first thing that you can do to help create more space for your divine feminine energy in your life is you really have to create free energy zones. You have to have a place. Your home in general, your entire home needs to be clutter free. It needs to be a place where the energy can move and the energy can flow. When a woman's environment, the primary place from which she manifests life, okay, in the material realm, is cluttered, then it hampers her creative force. It's no different than the womb space. If the womb space is cluttered with blockages and other things that are going on that are not conducive to life force energy and creativity, then that energy, that natural energy that moves up through you each and every day and every moment, is going to be muted, and you will not be able to function at your fullest potential. So if we're talking about a relationship, then we're talking about your sexual energy, your creative energy, and we're talking about all that. But as we talk about what it takes for you to create, you have to have a place that is free of excess clutter. Energy needs to be able to flow throughout that place, which means if you have boxes, if you have stuff you need to get rid of, if you have things that need to go to Goodwill, if you're hoarding, if you've got clutter in every corner, it's so important to move that stuff out of your environment, because as you do all of the other things, if you still have clutter everywhere, it's going to defeat the purpose. So this is the one thing that I wanted to mention first and foremost in this video, because it is, as far as I'm concerned, the foundational practice, and it's the one thing that you need to make sure you are up on just about every day. And we know we live in a country where we have a lot of excess, and we have a lot of unnecessary extravagance, and we really need to be a little bit more minimalistic in our thinking. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you need to begin to do, if you're not already doing it, in order to bring or create more space for your feminine energy within your home, is you need to bring in things that are reflective of life force energy. You need to bring live energy into your life, and you need to make sure that you have it in your energetic space all around you. This includes flowers. Flowers are brimming with life. Flowers are beautiful. Flowers are inspiring. We're also talking about plants. Plants are living. You know that because if you talk to plants, they grow better. If you care for them, when you nurture them, they reflect the energy that is actually within you and the energy that is in the home. So plants are another example of life force energy. Crystals. Bringing crystals into your environment. Crystals are vibrating at frequencies that help you attune and entrain to what is your homeostatic state, your natural harmony and balance. So bringing these life force energies are very important. Animals. Animals are some of the easiest ways to bring life force energy into your life, especially if you are someone that lives alone and you are missing that movement and that companionship. Pets can be wonderful ways, whether they are fish in tanks, birds, cats, dogs, whatever. The second thing that you want to make sure that you do to enhance and elevate and nurture a space for the feminine energy in your environment is you want to make sure that you allow in fresh air and light. That means having your windows open no matter what the season is, making sure that air is circulating and that some of the stale air moves out as some of the clean air comes in. Opening up your doors, creating a draft periodically throughout the day so that you can move energy, making sure that your house is not covered with dark colored drapes that impede the light coming in. You want to make sure that your blinds are open, that you have plenty of natural light coming in through your house. This is a wonderful way to not only uplift the vibration, but to keep you in communion with what is natural within you. So these are some very, very basic things that you can do right away that are helpful. The third thing that I want to talk about, actually, I believe I have a little list here that I hopefully won't have to refer to very much. But the fourth thing that I want to talk about is the critical aspect of, I'm going to have to decline that call. Let me send a message. Please excuse me. This is a business call, so I don't want to let it get away. But the fourth thing that I want to talk about that is super, super important is enlivening your environment with those things that appeal to the senses. Now, all of the senses are important, but the primary ones that I want to focus on are your visual, your seeing, your olfactory, your smell, and your hearing, your audio. These particular senses help you to tap into your feminine energy, because remember, the feminine energy is all about sensuality. Sensuality. If you're not in your sensuality, if you're not connected with your sensuality, you're going to have trouble beautifying your environment. If you notice, women naturally want to decorate. They want to bring in life. They want to bring in color. They want to make sure things smell good, things look good. When you put together a plate for your family for dinner, I know for me, I like to make sure all the colors are represented. I like to make sure the presentation is beautiful before I lay down the plate. I love to leverage colors in my life in so many ways. And so sensual planning is very, very important. So as we talk about visual planning, we're talking about bringing in color. And we're talking about strategically and mindfully, consciously choosing colors that actually have certain vibratory frequencies that help you meet the demands of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So if you're trying to create something and you're working on a curriculum, or you're doing a proposal, or you're brainstorming ideas, then you need to be in your orange energy. If you're trying to create a room in your home that brings you peace and tranquility, then you want to pull in the color blue. If you are trying to create calm and centeredness and a connection to the divine, then maybe the colors you might want to use perhaps could be gold, they could be violet, they could also be white. But the point is, you want to use visual appeal to help you engage that feminine energy. It creates a space and it creates a mindful focus. As we talk about number 5, which is actually number 6, which is sound. Sound is very important. I use sound in my environment constantly. I allow sounds to play throughout the night. I always usually have something playing in the background in the home. The frequency of the sounds or the music or the prayers that you are playing are helping to create a morphogenetic field in your home. Those sound frequencies are also being absorbed by all of the earth elements that may be in your home, which means that the more that you do that, the greater the likelihood that you increase the overall vibe in your home. Now, when we talk about sounds, we're talking about healing frequencies. We're talking about higher vibrational sounds. As a caveat, you want to move away from lower vibrational sounds. Lower vibrational sounds are the music that is attuned to frequencies that are not solfeggio frequencies, or frequencies that are not naturally and harmoniously found in the environment. The stuff that you hear on the radio, for example, it ignites you and it incites you, but most of the music that you're going to hear on the radio is going to be at the solar plexus vibration and down, which means it's going to bring up emotions. It's going to, if you're trying to be uplifted in your environment, in your home, you don't want to listen to love songs that remind you of something that happened a long time ago, nor do you want to listen to things that are an assault on the spirit, that have low vibrational energy and things, and maybe too heavy for the spirit. So you want to listen to music that's appropriate for aromatherapy, for Reiki, for healing sounds, vibratory frequencies that are higher in vibration, that actually mellow you out. As I mentioned, some of you may listen to prayers. You may record your voice, or you may listen to recitations, whether it be the Quran or gospel or anything that makes you feel uplifted and connected. Those are the kinds of sounds that you want to make sure that you're bringing in. Let's talk about the sense of smell. What you smell is critical. The odor in an environment. When an environment has an odor, and odor has a negative connotation, so we know we're not talking about something pleasant, right? But when an environment has an odor, not only does it affect the stimulation within your brain, not only does it affect your brain cells, but when you live with odors, eventually you become immune to them and you don't recognize the dissident energy that they create, the dis-ease that they create, the disease that they create. It is important to have your air rich with fresh air, to have your senses be lifted by those smells that are pleasant. And some of the best sources of aromatherapy are going to be your essential oils. Why? Because your essential oils allow you to cleanse the air. Whether you place them in a diffuser or a clearing mist, you make a clearing mist of your own, composed of some of your favorite essential oils that are antifungal, antiviral, bacterial, and so forth and so on, that are healing, that are lifting. Essential oils have very small molecules that immediately penetrate the bloodstream, regardless of how you absorb them, whether it is through your skin in a spiritual bath, or through a massage with carrier oil, or in a diffuser, or just a nice, long, powerful inhale. So aromatherapy, we're also talking about aromatherapy because it doesn't just lay over top of the air. It cleanses the air, whereas a deodorizer, something like a Lysol, is going to be toxic. You can come up with disinfectant blends using essential oils that are going to be more effective than Lysol, and they're going to be better for your health. But when you use those other types of sprays and you're not careful what you're putting in your air to breathe, it actually has the reverse effect on you. So also being willing to use incense, purifying your air with sage, allowing the smoke to come in and absorb whatever energy you have in, and opening your windows so that you can send that energy out. So just be mindful of the importance of doing that. Number 8, the 8th way that you can create a space for bringing in your feminine energy into a home, and this is a really interesting one, is making sure that you have a room that is your sanctuary. It can be your healing room, it can be your sanctuary, but there is not only an art to being a woman, but there is an art to engaging your feminine energy. And if you look at our homes today, we spend a lot of time decorating our homes. We spend a lot of time worried about the kitchen. We, as women, spend a lot of time worried about the bathroom. And then next, after we worry about the kitchen, is probably then the bedroom, right? And then maybe the bathroom. We have all of these other spaces that we occupy, that we create for other people, including our immediate family members, but also things that people can see when they come into your house for show. But one of the most important rooms that a woman must have in her home, that she should always set aside space for. The home is a woman's domain, right? If you do not have a space in your home that has a room or an area where you do your healing, where you meditate, where you go for peace, where you pray, where you invigorate yourself, where you go within, where you can be in peaceful silence, then you need to consider the relative priority of that particular room. And you need to do whatever you can to begin to make space for that corner. It doesn't matter if you have to put up a divider, but it is incumbent upon you as a woman to give yourself a nurturing environment and to make sure that you have a room whose energy has only your energy, and whose energy is only high vibrational and has a morphogenetic field that is healthy, that is elevated, and that amplifies all of the things that you say you want to create in your life. So this is very, very critical. Number 9, peaceful environment. Peaceful environment is very tricky, because we have kids, we have modern day life, we have so many things that are going on, but there are a lot of ways that you can create a peaceful environment, even if you have children. First and foremost, if you are peaceful, your children will tend to be peaceful. The woman sets the tone in the house. The feminine energy is what sets the tone in the house, whether it's the woman or not. That person that is engaging their feminine energy is the perfect complement to that other individual that is engaging that full-on masculine energy. And so if your energy is peaceful and harmonious and balanced, then the energy in the entire home is going to be peaceful, harmonious, and balanced. That is the nature of a woman. That is how powerful the woman is. And that's why you hear those sayings, if the woman is happy, man, the house is happy. If the woman ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So that's a very superficial way to say what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to engage with you is to help you to understand that having a peaceful environment next to clutter, having a peaceful environment is a 20% that's going to get you to 80% of the result. If you don't have a peaceful environment, you have chaos in your environment. You have drama. You have disorder, disarray, kids running around screaming. You and your husband arguing all the time. You on the phone all day long. You're bringing in all this negative energy. You got the TV going. You're watching Trump all day. You're watching every single thing he says. You're looking at all the updates on the virus. You're doing all this other stuff, bringing in all that negativity in your house. The devices are on all the time. There's no peace in your home. Okay, if there's peace in your home, which there cannot be peace until there is peace within. All right, but if you begin, remember we're doing the inner work that helps with the outer work, and we're doing the outer work that helps with the inner work. So it's a combination effect here. It's a synergy. It's a balance. It's the bringing of things together to create the whole. So if you do the things in your environment that help give you peace, establishing quiet time in the house at some point during the day if you need to. A time where the phone is not ringing, the ringers are off, things are quiet, the TV is not on. If you're not the person that lives in a home with a partner, or you haven't created a dynamic in your family where it's easy for you to do, then begin to have times where there's silence in the home and there's peace, because you need it to reinvigorate. peacefulness is the divine feminine energy. It nurtures, it cultivates. Like I said, it is the void from which all things manifest. It is the darkness that gives birth to the light. And so it really, really helps you to engage your feminine energy to have peace around you. If you don't have peace around you, just like if you have clutter around you, then you're going to have difficulties. If there's an individual in your life that you need to divest of, if you need to divest of dream-killing energies, whatever they may be, move them out. Because you can't have that in your space and be getting aligned. When you start to focus on bringing in your feminine energy, what you are doing is focusing on that energy that is going to align you. If you were to focus purely on your male energy, you would not be aligned. If you were to focus purely on your feminine energy, you're going to be a lot closer to being fully aligned with those things that you need to be aligned with to have more balance in your life. Remember, the feminine energy is not all about submission. We have sacred anger. We have the spiritual warrior within us. We have the ability to bring things into manifestation as well. So the feminine energy is broader than what a lot of us realize, but these things are very, very critical. So do what you need to do to establish a more peaceful environment in your home. You also want to pay attention to feng shui elements in your home. If you have the space, first of all, moving things around in general helps you to change the vibratory frequency of the space in which you are in. It is a good idea to move things around and clear out the corners of stale energy and let more flow in by shifting. But the way that we set up rooms also is very important, because when we're setting up rooms, we often don't give much attention to the flow of energy. And by learning some very, very simplistic and basic feng shui elements, you can begin to pay more attention to how you set up a room. Let's say, for example, you have a sofa, right? And you have a foyer or a hallway when people come in the door, and it goes through a couple of rooms, and then at the back or at the end of that foyer, it could be a kitchen, or it could be a sofa, it could be a sitting room, or whatever. What you have to understand, this is an example, is that all the energy that comes in through that front door is immediately going to intercede or interject or interlope on the energy of whatever, if you happen to be sitting on that sofa. So you're receiving all of that energy like this. It's the same for your bedroom. What you want to avoid is where your primary space is going to be. You want to avoid the entering energy coming in and hitting you like this. It's going to be better if it comes in like this. Or you need something to put in the way to break up the space, to help that energy, to stop that energy before it comes around and it hits the sofa. So these are just examples, making sure you take consideration as it relates to window placements. So everything in your environment has its own best energetic place, and there are a lot of things that you can do. So definitely consider that. I think that was number 11. So number 12, mirrors. Mirrors are very helpful in an environment. Mirrors mirror the water energy, which is about flow or harmony, moving through obstacles, just sort of balance. Okay, so mirrors are very good at elevating the energy in a space. You should have mirrors in many places throughout your home to help amplify the energy that you're trying to create, but also in and of themselves, they help to elevate the energy or raise the vibratory frequency. Another thing that is particularly good for the feminine energy, because that feminine energy is the element that represents the feminine energy, is water, which is why that's the energy of the sacral chakra. Although we know that the masculine and the feminine energies, the yin and the yang energies, are associated with the sacral chakra, its primary energy is water. Its primary energy is flow. Water does not go head on against its obstacles, right? Water flows through challenges. Water moves. Water Water rises to the occasion. Water helps to purify. Water helps to cleanse. Water helps to equalize. And so having water elements in your house, whether it's a water fountain, whether it's a fish tank, any way that you can bring water fixtures into your home where you can see the movement of water, where you can hear the movement of water, it's going to be beneficial. If you're unable to do that, then mindfully taking spiritual baths on a regular basis to help amplify and clear your own energy and give you that time to go within can be extremely effective as well. The last thing I'm going to mention, number 13, in your space to help you to create more feminine energy or bring in more feminine energy into your environment is going to be placing strategically in your environment those things that represent and give you a sense of accomplishment, things that you have created or things that you have achieved that give you a sense of accomplishment. This is very important. If you've authored a book, which many people have, that book needs to be on an easel somewhere where you can see it all the time, and it acts as a reminder. It becomes embedded in your psyche, in your subconscious. If it is something that you have knitted that has special meaning to you, if it's a piece of artwork that you have created, these things need to be adorning your environment strategically. Not everything, obviously, that you created, but those things that are really special, that really give you that sense of, I am accomplished, that sort of thing. So I hope that you were able to benefit from this video today. Please leave a comment and let me know what it is you're doing in your life to create a space for bringing in more divine feminine energy. What is it that you're doing in your life that helps relax you? What is it that you're doing in your life that brings in more flow and more balance? You're with Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations, helping you to gain clarity, up-level your mindset, clear and heal energetic blockages, and manifest the glory of God that is within you, manifest the glory of God that is you. I hope that you have a peaceful, productive, and prosperous day. If you have not joined me on patreon.com/Tanisha Ali, be sure to do so. We're about to start a high vibrational challenge and then next a divine feminine challenge. So we have lots of great content over there. Just follow us. You can look me up in the description for all of the other services. Have a blessed, beautiful day.